You wouldn't know my name from any press release. You wouldn't find my photo framed in the lobby or tagged in an inspirational LinkedIn post about female leaders in tech. But for 12 years, I kept that company breathing. While others chased metrics and hashtags, I kept the servers humming. While management attended retreats, I rewrote core architecture overnight just to prevent a billing disaster they'd never even know came close. I was the one patching corrupted dependencies at 2 a.m. I was the reason our biggest client never noticed their shipment logs nearly vanished before quarterly audits. They called me a rock, solid, reliable, but never visible. And that's the funny thing about being invisible in tech. You don't vanish when you leave. You vanish when you stay. Aspen didn't walk into the company. She arrived, fresh off a hot yoga retreat and freshly engaged to the CEO's only son. She came wrapped in influencer aesthetics and startup energy. Her job title, Chief Innovation Officer. Her experience, a Canva resume with 3 colors and one very suspicious reference from a tech wellness podcast. And yet, there she was, running the show. Her first all-hands meeting looked more like a live stream ring light pastel blazer, matcha in hand. "Hi, besties," she chirped. "Let's disrupt some paradigms." I wish I were joking. She spoke in full buzzword sentences. Words like synergy, agility, digital reimagination, all strung together like marketing Mad Libs. Behind the forced smiles, you could feel it, a collective pause. Not respect, not awe, just confusion, and the first silent crack in the foundation. The invite hit my inbox at 2:03 p.m. Subject line, quick sync, HR, time, 4:30 p.m. No agenda, no context. Just a blank gray placeholder on my calendar. The corporate equivalent of a guillotine being wheeled into the courtyard. They never schedule firings in the morning. No, it's always end of day. Right after you've answered a dozen emails and fixed problems that aren't yours. I'd seen it before. The slow shuffle, the stiff smiles, the fake small talk. So I walked in like I already knew, and there she was, Aspen. Perched on the edge of the HR manager's desk like she was posing for a business casual photo shoot titled, "I'm married into this." She smiled too wide, too white, and crossed her legs like a TED Talk prop. "So glad you could make it, Claire," she chirped. And just like that, I knew I wasn't walking into a meeting. I was walking onto a scaffold. "We're restructuring to stay competitive," Aspen began, using a tone reserved for yoga instructors and failed TEDx speakers. "We're moving toward fresh blood, agile methods, youthful energy." Every word out of her mouth felt like it had been focus grouped by a team of interns high on iced matcha. She didn't look at me, not really. Just that tight corporate smile, her pastel blazer glowing under the fluorescent lights, as if she'd mistaken the firing room for a photo booth. Greg from HR slid the folder toward me like it might explode. "This includes your standard severance," he mumbled. 3 months COBRA if you enroll by Friday." I didn't blink. I didn't ask for clarification. I looked at the document, folded it neatly in thirds, and placed it back on the table. Then I looked Aspen dead in the eyes. "You have 15 minutes, I said. She blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" I stood up slowly, unclipped my badge, laid it gently on the desk like a grenade with the pin just pulled. 15 minutes, I repeated, until the system starts to scream. The pastel in her face? Gone. I didn't yell. I didn't storm out or slam doors. I didn't post some dramatic goodbye on social media or send an anonymous tip to the press. No fireworks. No drama. Just silence. The kind of silence that stretches long enough for a building to start shaking underneath. Because I did something far quieter but far more devastating. I pulled the plug. Not with a literal cord, but with lines of code and scripts, the silent guardians I had written over the years, piece by piece, in stolen moments. Midnight patches when no one was watching. Unseen fail-safes that prevented billing disasters. Hidden threads keeping client data intact. These weren't just lines of code. They were the veins and arteries of the company's heart. And I revoked their access. I took away the lifelines nobody realized they were holding on to. The backbone of the system I'd quietly carried for over a decade. Then I clipped my badge, turned my back on the glass doors of the building, and walked out. My heart didn't race, it was steady, calm, because I knew the timer had started, like a bomb waiting to explode, ticking down silently. And when you're the ghost in the code, sometimes your absence is the loudest scream anyone will ever hear. The countdown had begun, and there was no turning back. The first sign wasn't a bang. It was a whisper, a flicker on the dashboard, a single failed API call, a vendor email flagged as urgent. Then the emails flooded in. Invoices not sending, access denied for supplier portals, systems are timing out. The help desk tickets doubled, then tripled. While Aspen scrambled to look busy, I was nowhere to found. "Where is Claire?" someone finally asked in a voice that barely hid panic. But the question was too late. Because when you're the unseen hands keeping everything running, your absence echoes like an earthquake. The cracks began to widen, and the silence I left behind, it screamed. Aspen had once called it the angry data closet. A joke, a punchline. She said it with a laugh during one of her airhead leadership huddles. "It's like buzzing with stress. Ugh, we should totally make it cuter." But now she stood in it for real. Not cute, not filtered. Surrounded by blinking lights, server racks, and humming machines she couldn't even name. And this time, the buzzing wasn't stress. It was warning. Hard drives spinning out error logs, dashboards crashing like dominoes, alarms blinking in terminal windows that no one in the room understood. Aspen looked like a pastel mannequin dropped into a sci-fi film set. Her COI badge suddenly felt like a Halloween costume, ill-fitting, laughable, and tragic. "Why isn't this system rebooting?" she snapped. A junior dev answered barely above a whisper. "Claire used to handle this." Silence. No one moved. Because they all knew Claire was gone, and so was control. The doors flew open, and there he was, the CEO. Power walked in with a half-loosened tie, the look of a man who just realized the ship bearing his name is sinking. "What the hell is going on?" he barked. Aspen turned, blinking rapidly, her voice sticky with panic and sugar. "We're experiencing turbulence during our cloud-first transition. I've got it under control." She didn't. Her screen was flashing red. Slack was exploding. Legal was already typing in all caps. "Clients are screaming breach," the CEO growled. "Audit says logs are missing. Legal says middleware is unlicensed." Aspen's voice cracked. "Claire must have changed something." He froze. "Claire left 3 days ago." She hesitated. "Right, but her systems, she made herself too essential." His eyes narrowed. Then came the line. From the tech lead in the corner, voice calm, quiet, lethal. "She didn't break anything, sir." Beat. She just stopped fixing it. Silence fell like a dropped hammer. Even the servers seemed to hush, because everyone in that room realized the same thing. Claire wasn't the weak link. She was the glue. It didn't come with fireworks, no dramatic phone call, no recruiter hype. Just a slim, sleek envelope slipped under my door. No logo on the front, no urgency in the font, just my name handwritten. Inside, a single-page letter from Stratum Systems, the company that had been circling me for years. Quiet coffees, just checking in emails, a LinkedIn message here and there. I'd said no every time. Because I was loyal, because I believed in the work I was doing, even when no one else saw it. But this time, I didn't hesitate. The letter read, "We've always known what you're capable of. Ready when you are." That was it. No begging, no posturing, just respect baked in. The contract, double the salary, full project autonomy, no dress code, and most importantly, a place where I didn't have to prove I belonged. They didn't ask what I'd done before. They asked what I wanted to build next. I didn't mean to walk that way, but my feet led me there anyway. Past the corner cafe where I used to order double-shot lattes on deadline days. Past the dry cleaner who once complimented my wrinkled tech conference t-shirt. And then there it was, the building, my old kingdom. The lights were off, the lobby, once buzzing with meetings, deliveries, nervous interns, now silent. In the window, taped crookedly behind the glass, was a faded white sheet of paper. For lease. No logo, no pride, no legacy. Just empty space, and the echo of a company that didn't realize what held it together until it unraveled. I didn't smirk, I didn't take a picture, I just stood there for one full breath. Then I turned away. No gloating, no middle finger, because this wasn't revenge, it was release. And the truth, it didn't need my voice to be heard anymore. It had already spoken. The envelope was thick, cream-colored, heavy in a way that felt official, hand-delivered, no knock. No smile, just a knock on the door, a silence, and the sound of justice catching up. The sender, a law firm I knew too well. Claire Forrester is hereby requested to provide technical testimony in the matter of shareholders v. Eldridge Corporation. I read it twice. It wasn't against me, it was with me. They didn't want a scapegoat. They wanted a witness, someone who could speak clearly, someone who had kept the receipts. All the Slack messages where Aspen wrote, "Claire's just paranoid, just delete it." All the emails where I flagged expiring licenses, raised security concerns, begged for documentation. The spreadsheets, the screenshots, the version logs with my initials in every critical commit. The noise Aspen had once dismissed, it was now evidence, weaponized, organized, and ready for court. The Zoom invite popped up at 9:41 p.m. No subject line, just a single word in the body, please. I almost didn't open it, but something told me this wasn't about power anymore. This was a woman drowning. So I clicked. The camera flickered on, and there she was, Aspen, her mascara smudged, hoodie oversized. Glittered text across the chest read Boss Energy, half the letters peeling. Her voice cracked before she even said my name. "Claire, thank you for taking this call." I said nothing, just stared, calm, unreadable. I didn't understand before what you did. How much you did. I was stupid. She gestured to the chaos behind her screen. Slack exploding, dashboards blinking like dying satellites. "Can you help me fix this?" Her voice broke completely. "I'll pay you, personally. If I can show the board I'm trying." I held up one finger. She stopped talking, and I said, "I'm not here to fix the fire you lit." Her face collapsed, and just like that, the Zoom ended. My inbox looked like a crime scene. Subject lines bled across the screen. "Claire, I'm so sorry. Can we talk? Please respond. We didn't know." The CEO's assistant, the legal team, the finance department, even Greg from HR, the man who couldn't look me in the eye during the firing, sent a message titled, "In hindsight, we failed you." And then one last email from him, the CEO. Subject, "We need to talk." No apology, no emotion, just cold corporate desperation. I hovered over it for a second. Then I clicked delete. No press release, no revenge tweet, no forwarded leak to a tech blog, just silence. Because sometimes the loudest response is no response at all, and I had nothing left to say. I didn't book a boardroom, I booked a vineyard, Napa Valley, 3 days. No emails, no meetings, no noise. Just paperback novels, warm sunlight, and the quiet kind of air that doesn't ask you to be useful. I didn't pack my laptop, I didn't check Slack. I didn't owe anyone an update. For the first time in years, I wasn't carrying anyone else's broken system on my back. I had nothing left to fix, and it felt clean. No bitterness, no resentment, just a quiet kind of vindication that lives in your bones, the kind that doesn't demand to be seen, the kind that just is. Aspen would eventually post a soft-lit Canva goodbye filled with hashtags and vague affirmations. And that's fine. She can keep her hashtags. I'll take the silence. Because sometimes the greatest power isn't in destroying the thing that hurt you, it's in walking away from it and never looking back. Sometimes walking away is louder than shouting. In a world that often rewards noise, flash, and fast promotions, this story reminds us that the quiet ones are often the ones keeping everything from falling apart. Don't let anyone mistake your calm for weakness or your silence for insignificance. You don't always need to scream to be powerful. You don't have to prove your worth to people who choose not to see it. There's dignity in letting go. There's strength in choosing peace. And sometimes, the most powerful move you'll ever make is not revenge, but refusing to carry what was never yours in the first place. If this story stirred something in you, if you've ever been overlooked, undervalued, or quietly held things together while others took the credit, then Whispers of Life is your space. We tell the stories that don't always make headlines, but they leave marks on your heart. Hit subscribe, not for drama, but for truth. Not for noise, but for voices that matter. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find a bit of yourself in every whisper we tell.